Okay, so here we are. I would like you to notice that we have this PC and I'm in the documents. If I go down, I can see I've got desktop. I should also have downloads. Keep going down. Pictures, music, downloads. Okay, so bottom line is this is going to take you around. If you notice, okay, I really didn't want all those downloads. I clearly have a few. I can go back to this PC. These are called breadcrumbs across the top, and you can use these to navigate a little faster, or you can navigate down here. Okay, so if I go to my documents file, okay, currently I have a file that I downloaded. This would be like your Kenya file. If you right-click your file, you'll see an extract all. This will let you extract all of these files out of a zipped file, which is exactly what you have right now. What a zipped file does is it takes and compresses a file, makes it smaller. There's a number of ways it does that. We're not going to go into that. The files are going to be extracted too, and it's going to tell you exactly where it's going to put them. So I'm going to go ahead and say extract. Okay. I now have a test file. If I double click it, I've actually got a couple of folders in here. You can move files around. Let's go ahead and create a new folder. I can either use this up here where it says new folder, or I can right click. I'll get a menu. I'm going to come down here to new, and I want a new folder. And you'll notice later on we can use the same thing to recompress the folder. Okay, I'm going to hit folder. Okay, I've created a new folder. Sometimes it will actually stay blue so you can name it. I clicked on it so it didn't do that. So again, right click, get your menu, and you can hit rename. Okay, oops, sorry. All right, so rename. It'll be bright blue. I can call this test 2. So clever. All right. As soon as I hit return or enter, it's basically renamed it. I can move things into this folder a couple of ways. One, I can do a right click, do a cut, which means it's actually going to remove it. Copy is going to make it a duplicate. Cut is actually going to take it out. And when I hit cut, I can go into test 2, right click, and hit paste. Okay, now you notice my breadcrumbs, I have a test 2 folder inside. I'm going to go back to my test file. Now you notice that I have a test 2, this is called a subfolder. Okay, it's a subfolder of Cunningham. And also in your notes you'll notice that this would end up being the root directory. Test, that's my root. When I click on it, I have a subfolder called test 2. And I go into test 2, then I have another file. So, and again, I can follow my breadcrumbs all the way back. Okay. I can also literally just drag it. This will move it. It's going to take it out of its existing folder and move it into test 2. Now when I go into test 2, they're both there. So that's an alternative method. There's actually a third method, and that is to actually use the copy and paste. And here's the cut. So if you want to move something, you can use these up here as well. So there's lots of ways. Some of you may be familiar with the Control-C for copy, Control-X for cut, and then Control-V will paste it. So that's a third method you can use. Okay, let's say I'm done with this thing and I want to recompress it. I've renamed files. I've moved pictures. I've done whatever I need to do. I'm going to go back up to the Cunningham. Okay, here's my test, and I want to recompress this. Remember, this has files inside of it. Okay. Now what is going on? Okay. Go down here to I'm trying to get it to go to send to, okay. This time I'm going to do send to, and when I do this, I'm going to send it to a compressed zipped folder. Sorry, I just do not zip files very often. And you'll notice that I created a new file, but this one doesn't have a name. It's in blue. It still says test. And I can rename it. I'll call this one Cunningham 2. Okay. So this is my test file that's unzipped, and then this is my Cunningham 2, which is a compressed or zipped file. If I do this, let's see if it'll tell me. Nope. For some reason, it's not telling me how big this file folder is. But the compressed folder will always be smaller, and that will allow you to, you might be able to send something via email that you wouldn't be able to if you didn't compress it. It just creates a smaller file. Takes out, think of it as taking out extra space. That's not quite what it does, but at least it'll give you the idea. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know. This should be the Unit 1 for the Kenya project. If you have trouble unzipping it, call me.